I started this thing up a couple minutes early so we could get some folks in here and get to sharing out before Rob gets in here. I got my buddy Rob Martin coming to join us today, the Renegade. He's the CMO of Chroma IT. Super cool dude. Probably one of the better salespeople that I've ever met. And a stand-up guy. Share this out. Rob Martin in the building. Appreciate you guys joining us. It's inviting you. Hopefully I don't get the repeater. Hey, when you hop in here, share this out for me, please. I would much appreciate that. Shouldn't have any sound, so we're good. All right, cool. Rob, you got to turn your phone sideways, man. I don't know if you're having issues with getting added in here. Turn your phone sideways and hit accept. I don't know what's going on. You know, Facebook's been acting funny lately. I was trying to add some people the other day and it wouldn't work. Yeah, you're in. I'm inviting you, dude. I'm gonna end it and do it again. Not the stream, the invite. Okay, Rob, I'm adding you again on the invite. Here we go.
What is up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
How are you doing? I am trying to make sure that y'all can see my backdrop back there because we have some cool stuff on it for you.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
Time on it. What's up, man?
What's up?
Not a whole lot.
No worries, dude. No worries. I hopped up in here a few minutes early just so we could, make sure this Facebook quirks get worked out and folks can share it out before we get started. What's up?
You see the V-neck and stuff
going on there? We're like twinsies.
I started to let my beard grow out, but I backed off of that because it's like completely freaking gray, so I didn't want to scare anybody away.
Yeah, you might have the creepy look with the gray beard.
I don't do the beard thing very well. I was like, I think I was turn my volume up here. I think I was like 36, 37 before I could grow a full beard, and when I finally could, it was completely gray. That kind of sucked.
Missed the boat on the beard.
Yeah, dude, I can't. I'm not one of those beard guys. It kind of sucks. I see all these cool all these cool products for people with a cool beard, but I'm not one of those guys. But
yeah. I'm gonna let mine go. I don't know how long I let it go, but I'm gonna let it go for a while.
Man, it's hot, dude, in Texas. I'm gonna tell you what. I wish I wore a black shirt now because now I see why you're wearing black because it's like you sweat here.
You get the undersweat going. See, I'm in Vegas, dude. It's like 109 or something outside right now. I'm assuming.
Is that all?
But I'm inside and the air conditioner's on, so it's all good. But no, dude, I appreciate you. What's that?
I'm going to share this thing out real quick.
Yeah, share it out. If you guys could, I appreciate everybody sharing it out. We're going to be talking to Rob today about his business. Rob's got irons in the fire. He's got a lot of big stuff going on, and just because we share the same last name doesn't mean we're related. But I consider Rob a brother.
There's a lot of handsome on the screen right now. I'm just kidding.
There's a lot, dude. That's probably why Facebook isn't working.
It's going to shut down. Yeah, people take guys what. Listen, if you're a farmer or you raise a garden, definitely take a good screenshot right now because you'll be able to keep all the crows and stuff out of the garden right now. It's the perfect pitch for
that. So, tell me a little something in case people don't know you. Just a quick little 30-second backdrop on you, who you are, where you've been, what you've been doing. I know you got a long story. It's hard to condense.
Yeah. My story's longer than all the episodes. I got more issues than People magazine, man. That's a lot of issues, isn't it?
That is a lot of issues.
I got one more share to put out here, and then I'll be done.
But I'd say you got as many solutions as you do issues, so that's a good thing.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I've shared it out enough that they can't catch. They'll catch the replay. But I don't know how long I'm wearing this coat. I'm gonna give it a shot, but it's you know what? I don't think I can do it, man. I'll see how you do it. How you do it. It's not my thing. I tried. I wanted to be cool like you, but I just can't do it. I can't do the beard.
You tried, man. You tried.
I gave it a shot, but I'm sweating too much. You know, I sweat right through my shirt. But it is what it is. You know, it used to be when I go out and sell, I was the same way. A lot of people, they go out and they sell and they spend so much time trying to look where their suit and their tie and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be that guy, because the people are the target consumer. Because listen, the consumers are the ones that the rich people make their money off the backs of. And I'm like, I want to relate with these people, because I've been those people. I've been those people more than once in my life, and I don't ever want to forget that. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't dress like a bum, but it is what it is. You know, I can't do the suit thing, man. I got a lot of respect for you guys, though. Those suits are just hot.
But you know, I kind of put myself in a position when it came to the suit thing. Is at an early age, I went and started getting tatted. So I am covered in tattoos. So I just got comfortable with wearing suits. I don't have to wear them here, but I got comfortable with wearing suits and wearing long sleeves because I had to. I was an outside sales dude. I was banging on doors in long sleeves for 12 years. I mean, you learn to stop sweating. Like, you control your brain to just stop sweating.
No, it doesn't work that way, dude. I sweat everywhere. I sweat on weird spots. Like, I just start sweating on my elbow, you know. It's crazy. But, yeah, I got a lot of respect for the suits. I picture you wearing a suit when you was like, you come out of the womb and your mom puts you in a suit, you know, in a V-neck T-shirt and in a black jacket.
Yep, straight out the womb like that.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty awesome. But a little bit about me. My name is Rob Martin. I am from Lexington, Kentucky. I'm actually Georgetown, Kentucky, but it's kind of a suburb of Lexington at this point. But, you know, we all go through things in life, and I've been on my own since I was probably 14 years old, and there's a lot of stories. Me and you were cutting up about it last night. By the time I was 18 years old, I'd been married twice, in the military on my own since I was 14, and I was a convicted felon. So, you know, and I was actually kicked out of high school in the 10th grade too, but I ended up getting 2 years of college without a GED. So listen, it doesn't matter what you've been through. It's where you're going. It's what you choose to do with that. A lot of people tend to use their problems that they went through in their life as I got to learn to look at the camera. I was watching a video of myself the other day, and I wasn't looking at the camera. So I think I got to focus on that a little bit more. But, you know, it's about taking all those bricks that life throws at you. Instead of building a wall around yourself, you need to build yourself a set of stairs. Because if you build stairs out of bricks, they're going to be a lot more sturdy than they are if you just build them out of wood or mud or clay or whatever you want to build them out of. But it's about taking the advantage of those things that come at you and not having any regrets, you know, because one right turn, one left turn, I wouldn't have my wife, I wouldn't have my daughter, I wouldn't have my family that I have now, and I wouldn't sacrifice any of the crap that I went through as a kid and all the way up to this point not to have those guys. You know, I mean, my wife and I will be married 20 years in November 15th of this year, and she changed me to make me better, and I try to do everything that I do to be a blessing to what I like to call the low-hanging fruit. And the low-hanging fruit are the people with the company that you know, they're the ones that people are making their money on the back of. All these multimillionaires are making their money on the back of the low-hanging fruit. And nothing wrong with being a millionaire. Listen, the guys that work their ways up, like your buddy that you work with there. You know, Brad Lee worked his way up. You know, nobody handed him his company. He went out and grinded it out. So it's a little bit different. But there's a lot of people out here that have that money, and some of them tend to forget or whatever, or they were handed money as a kid, and they don't really appreciate where they're at now. And they don't appreciate these guys that are down here, the low-hanging fruit. They don't train them and stuff. And I mean, training is the whole thing about where you're at there. And I think training is extremely important. And I do a lot of that on my groups and stuff and life insurance. And but what I'm going to talk about tonight has nothing to do with life insurance particularly. Now, life insurance agents do need a website. If you're going to pretty much exist in this world and you're not going to work for a company that already has their own website, you need a website, you know? And it's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about tonight. I want to get the word out about what we're doing here. You're going to see some stuff flipping around on the back screen. You're going to see our logo and stuff for a little bit, but you're also going to see some different websites that my partner Mark has built. He is like a ninja of website building. This guy is bad at the bone. So I hope you can see it okay. I wish I could make it a little prettier for you, but it's not giving me that option to touch that little button right there like I can.
Yeah, the reflection's going to have a hard time being that it's behind you like that. You know, go ahead.
Bam.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys joining us in here. Travis, Nicole, Carrie, Milton, Will, Jason, Rosie. What's up, Rosie?
There's Eric Snipes. He's a good friend of mine.
Justin Myers in here. Dan the Waterman. What is going on, guys? Rex, Rob, Sweet, what up? Antoine. Cool, man. So, you know what I like about what you're doing? Specifically I'm not a tech guy, right? I'm not a tech guy. You're not a tech guy. Like,
no.
Nah. like not a tech guy. But in the day and age that we live in, you better have some sort of general understanding of the value of that technology and what it means. And to me, I think that there's a huge disconnect there, because you get the guys that are super tech savvy, but they can't really explain, as a whole, generally really explain to guys like you and I, people who are trying to get into the market or in the market and need representation online, why they need it, how it works, what they should be doing. So being that you aren't a tech guy and you don't have like the tech background, I think it's a perfect fit, because if I'm gonna buy a website, dude, I'm gonna buy a website from your company, because you're gonna tell me how it is for me as I guess in layman's terms or whatever you want to call it. You cut through the BS.
Yeah. Well, it boils down to this. I'll give you a quick example before I get too deep into what I want to talk about. I got some notes today, and I've been doing a lot of research because my partners, one of them, he wrote code for the Department of Defense. He's like a 13-year Marine. I mean, this guy wrote some algorithms against Google stuff or whatever. I don't know what all that means, but it sounds really cool when they tell you about it, But I mean, he's like a freaking ninja when it comes to this stuff. And then my other partner, he's the kind of guy, Chris Morrell. I mean, you have Mark Quarles, who is our programmer, and then you have Chris Morrell, who's a 20-year Marine vet. This guy, I mean, we're all three vets. These guys are both combat vets. I'm not a combat vet. I wish I could have been. I probably could have taken a lot of frustrations. But anyway, but these guys, Chris came after 20 years. He comes back and he goes to work for Halliburton. He's a project manager. He's so psychotically organized. He's the type of guy that took you've all heard of what's it called, a DocuSign. He figured the whole thing out in like a half a day. I mean, he knew every in and out of the program within half a day, and how to use it and how to make it function for everybody to use. It would take me like 6 months, and I still wouldn't have had half the stuff figured out. I'm kind of the sales guy of our group, so we're kind of like the perfect storm that came together. But to give you an example, when I first moved, I just moved to Texas. A lot of people know that. That's why I'm sweating so much. I mean, you sweat in the air conditioning in Texas. It's crazy. But I've lost about 10 pounds or 15 pounds just from just sitting around sweating. And I guess that's okay. Look, I might have bought a lot of new T-shirts. But when I first came to Texas, you know how it is when you move. You just moved to Vegas from California, right? And when you move, you're in the process of moving, and you're thinking, man, I'm hungry. What's the first thing you think to get? Pizza, right? It's easy. It's quick. They deliver.
Yeah, I did the same thing, dude. Pizza.
But now I like to pick my pizza up because I'm weird. I just like to pick it up. I'm worried about people knocking on my door. We having to wait on them to knock on the door. It's like I can't really be comfortable, so I just need to go pick it up. But anyway, so when my wife and myself, we have a little thing that we do to where we like to, if we go somewhere new, which it was new for us at the moment, but when we go somewhere new, we don't eat somewhere we could have already eaten. Now, remember when I don't eat Papa John's, Pizza Hut, and Domino's. I don't eat international chain food. I just don't like it because after it gets commercialized, it kind of usually gets crappy. You know what I mean? Like Applebee's stuff. But so we get here and we're like, oh, we want some pizza. So I go on my phone and I look up pizza, and I go to white pages, look up pizza, and it pulls up like 4 or 5 places. The first place I pulled up, I'm not going to say the name of the company because, well, I mean, the name of the company is Mazzi's. I guess I can't say the name of the company, but the thing is when I opened up their website, it was a red page. It had some little cartoon Italian dude. It took up like a little tiny part of the page. So the page is this big, and this little cartoon dude took up this much space. He's holding a plate, and it said enter here, hit the button. It didn't make me want pizza, but I said, okay, I'm going to hit enter here. I hit enter here because I'm the person who likes to dig a little deeper. And there's no picture of food except for one picture of a slice of pizza. So I zoom in, and it's all pixelated out. I can't see the pizza. So I go to the next one that I seen on the page. I ain't going to say the name of the company because I don't want to be bad. But anyway, I go to the name of the company. I select the next website that I see, and the next thing on the list, and it has this website. I go to it, and there's like this bubbly picture of pizza, and there's all kinds of pictures of food flipping across the screen. It's mobile friendly. I don't have to like shift right and left. I'm like just scrolling through, and it looks so good. Guess who I ordered pizza from? Right?
Yeah.
And because it was the visual that caught my attention. If you don't think it's about visual, then porn wouldn't be a multi-billion-dollar industry nowadays. It wasn't about the visuals, right? And not that anybody's watching this video has ever watched porn, but the point being is it's all about what we see is how what we see affects us. And I ordered pizza from that place probably about 3 days in a row. And then after I went to see Chris. He lives maybe 3 or 4 miles from me. And if you're not familiar with Texas and the Houston area and Katy and Richmond and all these little towns that are kind of there that most of them didn't exist. They used to be small towns spread out. Now they're all kind of grown together. Chris is like, oh, you got to try Mazzi's. I was like, Mazzi's. I look it up, and it's like that site with the red front page. Number one, red means stop. I was always taught to wear green to when I'm out selling. And the guys, and so I go back there and I give them a call, I go get some pizza from there. It's like the best pizza I've ever eaten in my freaking life. But the thing is, the website didn't tell me that. So I ordered pizza 3 days in a row, and we probably spent 20 or 30 bucks every time we ordered. We'd order 2 or 3. My brother's over and his family. So we're ordering 2 or 3 pizzas. We're spending 30, 40 bucks on pizza. And the thing is this company missed out on at least $120 to $150 worth of business because their website wasn't appealing to me. Now, it hadn't resonated with me at that point yet because, you know, we're an IT company. And we've talked since the GrowthCon. We've met way before GrowthCon. We started on social media about the same time.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to do a live video in the first place. But so I do thank you for that with your group that you started. That was pretty awesome, man. If you guys haven't done a live video, you need to go to the and don't get mad at me, Eddie, because I can't remember the name. I got a lot of stuff.
Break Free Go Live.
Free Go Live. And I'm gonna tell you what. Listen, it doesn't matter. Go on Break Free Go Live. Everybody on there feels weird. They stutter, they stammer, and they sound like they feel like they sound like fools like I did. But I'm gonna tell you what. It really made me comfortable to start doing this, and it helped me a lot within my group. I got an insurance group that's got about 5,400 plus members in it, and the group has grown because the more live videos we did, the more it helped. So I do thank you for that, man. That's pretty awesome, and I hope that's what, you know, it led you to a lot of positive things in your career. But the thing is if you don't have the visual effect there, this company lost money because they lost money. I mean, I ordered pizza 3 days in a row, and I'm not the only person, you know. I mean,
look at it like this. Look at it like this, and tell me if you agree with me or not. If I have a business, a brick and mortar business, and you walk up to my business and there's crackheads hanging out front, you got broken windows, or it looks like it's dirty, it's got old paint on it, it does not look visually appealing from the outside, and right next door there's another pizza place and the pizza's shitty, the pizza sucks, but the pizza at the bad looking place is amazing. What pizza place are you going to go into?
Same principle, exactly. It's
the same idea. So what we have nowadays, your website is your business. It's your front door. It's what is going to attract or repel people from you, right? If it's too clunky, if it don't work on a phone, if it's not visually appealing, you are losing business. It doesn't have to be that complicated, but it's not a corner that you could cut. And people try to cut that corner, and I'm sure you see that.
Well, what's so extreme about it is pizza. I mean, when it comes to the restaurant industry, pizza is one of those companies. Business. Like, look, my wife and I had a restaurant. We called it Nikki's Diner, and we started this as a little 50s style diner. I made fresh hamburgers. We had the homemade batter, dipped onion rings, the whole thing. The little black and white checker tiles, the red stools, the whole deal. Pool tables, and I just lost my whole train of thought there. But the point being is it's like if it's not visually attractive to us, we won't go there. You see what I mean? And I've been in the restaurant business. In the restaurant business, your profit margins are really small. Usually I think it's around 13% profit margin, which means if you get somebody that's going to steal a couple bucks from you or throw away a few hamburgers, you've lost all your money right there on the spot. Yeah. Pizza actually has the largest profit margin of any restaurant industry out there. But these guys lost at least $120 to $150, and I count the tip. Because I always like to tip a tip, because if you tip well, then the next time you show up or they know it's you, they're doing exactly the way you want. I'm weird when it comes to my food. It's got to be cooked the way I want it. So I don't mind the tip.
Perfect. Hey, real quick before you go on, real quick before you keep going, Rob, let me get a hashtag shared so I know that you guys shared in here, because I'm looking at it over here, and it's only showing 2 shares, so I'm thinking something's wrong with the Facebook machine. So put a shared in the comments when you shared, so I can show you some love the way you show me love. I appreciate that. But yeah, so we kind of went off about pizza, right? Like and if you just walked in or you just joined the stream in here, you'd be like, what the hell are these guys talking about pizza for? Like, what are we talking about, man? I'm hungry. I want some pizza now. I'm trying to eat right, dude. I can't be having that pizza. But that's not what we're here talking about. What we're here talking about is Chroma IT. Rob's the CMO of this company. They help people build websites for their businesses. Would you say that your approach to the market is different than like traditional? Because, dude, there's a million people out there that make websites, right? Why would they get you?
How many of those guys do you know? How many tech guys do you know that build websites?
I mean, a handful.
And the thing is, if you can build a website, you're not usually, and listen, it's not a bad thing. Listen, I'm an idiot and a moron, and I'm like special ed short bus guy when it comes to understanding technology. it takes me forever to figure out the new features on my iPhone. It doesn't make me a bad person. It's just that's not my area of expertise. And my area of expertise is people, human nature, body language, micro expressions, all these things. It's just the basics that make us do the things that we do. And I'm somebody that can look in the mirror and say, hey, look, I know I've screwed up. I know why I screwed up. Now I know how to put myself in check to fix myself. And a lot of people can't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even as salespeople. But when you're a tech guy and you're talking to people, a lot of tech guys that I've talked to, they're closing like 25% of the people that call them about websites because they don't understand the fact of the human nature, the social aspect of what it is that we do on a daily basis. And when my partners first came up with the idea, because listen, we just launched an app and everything's not 100% like we want it. And I'm not pushing it as hard as we're ready to push it yet. We're actually looking for some partners because we want to do some extra things on this app to make it just really special. You know what I mean? It's already special, but we want to make it really special. And we're like, well, in the meantime, what we're going to do is, because Mark's already building websites. So we're going to start building websites, and we started this. And you can see some examples on the screen behind me as we're sitting here of companies we've built websites for. And you go to Chroma Dash. It's not Chroma _, it's Chroma Dash, CHROMA-IT.com. And you can go look at all the examples of websites that this guy's built. He's freaking a ninja, man. But here's the thing. He'll tell you right now, look, I'm not the guy that understands what people think. And that's my job. And when he told me, when I started talking about selling websites, the first thing that hit me was the pizza situation. That's why I use that as my example, because if your site is not visually, if you don't open up that site, you've got just a matter of seconds. And I've even pulled a lot of data on this, and you've got like a half of they say 50 milliseconds, which is half a second. You've got half a second where people say, I want to stay on this site. And your site can suck, your information can suck. I mean, everything about your company can suck. But if your site is visually exciting or engaging or whatever word you want to use to describe it, then guess what? People are going to give your site higher marks than they are somebody who has a site that has all the information, everything that you actually need to make a decision on buying their product. People are giving higher marks to the websites that are visually tempting to them than they are a website that actually has the information that they need. Even if they go through it, they're like, I like this one better. You know, and it can be a complete moron site, but as long as it looks good, that's what we care about. So it doesn't matter how you feel, because number one, you've heard me say this, money doesn't have feelings. If you're in business for yourself and you're an entrepreneur and you got a website, it's not mobile friendly and it doesn't have eye appeal. Not eye appeal according to the beauty of the beholder. And I talked to Mark about this last night, Mark Echo. We did the first time I got to talk about this. Everybody thinks their kids are pretty, right? But a lot of people have ugly kids. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's not my fault, but there's a lot of ugly kids out there. This is how it goes. But everybody thinks their kids are pretty. So meaning that if it's your idea or your creation, you think it's pretty. Even if you're a great marketer, if you have some idea, you think it's an amazing idea. But the reality is, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter how you feel, because money doesn't have feelings. Is everybody else going to look at that and be as excited as you are? It's kind of like social media. I mean, you've talked about this before. You know, you'll come up with some cool ideas, some cool posts, and I've done it. It's some cool meme or some cool picture you're going to post. You post it up, not a single soul will like it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden and it makes you feel all sad inside. You're not going to like commit suicide or drive off a cliff over it, but it makes you feel a little sad on side. And the key to social media is what? If you like what somebody's got, all of a sudden now they're checking you out, they're liking your stuff, now you've built a relationship. But people are so busy using social media as their personal diary, and we don't care. Listen, in the 80s, everybody had diaries, and they were like keys, and they locked them up, and they kept them under the mattress, all their personal weird feelings they had. That's where those feelings should be, honestly, between me and you.
Yeah.
But that's not what they're doing. The key is to make sure that if you're going to be in business, and a lot of people that are in business on social media now, if you're going to be in business, you need a website, and you need a website that's mobile friendly, and you need a website that is attractive to the eyeballs, because if it's not, it doesn't matter, because you're going to lose business to the guy who has a sucky business who has a beautiful website. And people are they skimp there. You know, I'll put money here, here, and here, but I want to skimp on this one so I can say I got a website. You know what I mean? And it doesn't.
Yeah,
work.
I mean, I see it in my line of work all the time. And, you know, we don't build websites or do websites. Lightspeed is a fully interactive platform. But I'll run into somebody who maybe has training online already, and they're with another platform or they're with another provider, and it looks like trash. Like the content isn't private labeled. It is organized in a way that is just not appealing to the eye. It's just bad all in general. And I try to explain to people that you could have the best information. Like, dude, what you're talking about right now could change the world. It could, theoretically, right? Your content's amazing. But nobody wants it because you packaged it in, you know, a bag of junk. And not that by you coming over to us, you're just getting a pretty little package, because that's just the beginning of things. But you can't expect people to give you the attention or show you the respect that you deserve if you don't have enough respect to dress yourself. Like, it goes right back to what we were talking about at the beginning with the clothes, right? So wrap the package, or whatever it is, that however they call it. Dress for the job that you want, right? So build your business, represent your business in the way that you would want to be represented. And it starts online. It starts with your website. It starts with, you know, how are you presenting yourself, and not getting, like Rob said, romantic about what you think things should look like when everybody else is telling you, dude, it doesn't look good. It doesn't make me want to stay. And the numbers don't lie. You get the analytics on all your stuff. You know your bounce rate's super high. What is it? It's probably aesthetics.
Well, I'm gonna read something to you real quick. And like I said, I went online, and I've been doing a lot of research on this. I mean, I understand how we think. I understand how we feel, and I understand how our brain works. It's kind of like we talked about this last night. Being able to put yourself in check. Like most salespeople, they get in a rut. They can't put themselves in check, and a lot of them end up out of whatever business they're in. Oh, the business sucks. Well, the business doesn't suck. You can't put yourself in check. You can't humble yourself enough to put yourself in check. So you blame the business. You blame the guy that recruited you. You blame everybody else around you. And people do the same thing with the website. They just figure, well, you know, people aren't getting there or whatever. But the reality is, and I'm going to read you exactly what it says here, okay? But it says first impressions matter. And listen, these are studies done by Stanford University. There's all kinds of companies here, and I'm going to give you guys the website. You're welcome to go read this if you want. But it said first impressions matter. The importance of a great visual design. Results found in a study conducted by Stanford University credibility experts. They found that what people say about how they evaluate and trust a website and how they really do it are completely different. So, you know, what that means is, like, you know, what we say about it, oh, yeah, that's a great website, the content is just amazing. But the reality is that's not really how they felt, because when they tested them, they were more, what they visually were attracted to meant more to these guys. And it's what it says. The data show that the average consumer paid far more attention to the superficial. When you know what superficial is, it's the bimbo blonde, you know, that doesn't have a brain cell one. The superficial aspects of a site, such as visual cues, than to its content. They're paying more attention to what they've seen than actual content on the website. And that hit me really hard, because because number one, like I told you, the pizza place, it was such. I mean, the pizza was so much freaking. I mean, I'm not talking about a little bit. I'm talking about the difference in elementary school pizza and some gourmet pizza place where you're paying $100 a slice for this stuff. I mean, it was that much of a difference. But the website is what deterred me away from going to the one that had better pizza. So it's about what we see visually. If we're not visually attracted to something, we don't buy it. You know, I mean, even clothes and shoes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
How many times you walk in, ooh, man, I love that jacket, and you put it on and it fits like it just sucks.
Yeah.
And one that you're not attracted to fits perfectly. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's no different than how you interact with people in real life. It's no different. You're visually attracted to somebody, that's going to be your first impression. If you are visually unattracted to somebody, that is going to be your first impression. And the first impression sticks, and it matters. And it takes a lot more to get over that first impression than it does to make that first impression, right? It's a lot harder for me to get past that first impression than it is for, you know, you to make a better first impression. It's very easy.
You got 10 seconds. Well, like, I've been knocking doors my entire life, and you got 10 seconds to make a first impression. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
I'd argue half. 10
seconds. Now, on a website, you've got 50 milliseconds, which is a half a second.
Yeah.
Half a second. If it's like, they go on to the next one. And it's not just about what they see initially, it's about the functionality. And a lot of people don't realize this, but they say that over the next 12 months, 95% of all internet traffic is going to be done on what? Our cell phone. Our cell phone. So number one, there's a ton of people that have websites. You may have the coolest website in the world, but if I go to your website, or if anybody goes to your website, if you go to your website right now, if you guys have a website, you got a second device, you know, to get off this video, go to your freaking website. And if you have to scroll to the left or to the right to see everything, or if you have to zoom in to see anything that's important, guess what? Your website's not ready for what's coming over the next 12 months. You need a website that's not just mobile friendly. It needs to be ready for a tablet and your desktop, mobile, and ready for the tablet. Because if it's not, especially your mobile phones, and that's what we specialize in. Whatever we build for people, we're making sure that it's already ready. Automatic boom, boom, boom formats of that. The company that we use primarily, because they already have a format that's in place for that, and that's the company we use for the websites for people that, you know, they don't want to go spend $10,000 or $3,000 or $2,000. I mean, we can build a basic website for somebody between. And listen, a lot of people are crazy about their pricing, but somewhere between $400 and say $700, we can build a website for somebody and have it ready in 4 or 5 days. We say 2 to 4 days, but sometimes it's even quicker than that. And to be able to have a website ready that fast, most people, next thing you know, 6 months later, you're still waiting on your website to get finished. We want your website done, functional, out there, exposed to the people that need to do business with you. Because go to White Pages and punch in the word pizza. I use pizza as an example because it's easy. Half the people that have a pizza place don't have a website. You're going to a Facebook page. Facebook is great, but you need a website, because Facebook's not going to list all your menus and all the crap you need. They're going to give you a place to put a website to go to. You need a website with a landing page that just, when they open it, like, ooh, I need whatever it is that's right there. That first time, before you even scroll, whatever they see, whatever your business is, when they see that first part of your page, they need to want to go further. They need to want to dig in even more and more and more, because your website is amazing. And listen, it's not that expensive to do it. A lot of guys want to charge you a ton of money. The reason I feel that a lot of people are overcharged for websites is because the majority of your guys that are building websites, they're not sales guys. They're talking to them. So what happens is, and this is the people I've talked to in the industry, they're only selling like 15 to 25% of the people they talk to. But guess what? 100% of those people want a website.
Yeah. So you can have a better rate if you're closing rate.
And transfer their information to the programmer. And when you're talking to a programmer, you're not going to get your information across to them that you need to get across to them. So that's kind of where the difference is in dealing with us. You have me, and as time goes by, we have a sales team that's there to help transfer your thoughts and your dreams and your passion and whatever it was you were passionate about when you started your company. What you need is a good salesperson to be able to transfer that information and translate that information to the programmer properly, so he knows how to build the site in the way that you need. Otherwise, he's just going to build your site, send it to you. And it doesn't mean it's going to do the things you needed to do. Your website needs to express what it was that you thought of that moment. You said, hey, I got a great idea for a business. And you start the business. And now you're not online. And now you got people like me that spend $120 in 1 week at another pizza place. I'm one guy. This is the fastest growing area in the country I live in right now, in Katy, Texas. How many people have moved here and done the same thing? How many thousands of dollars has that pizza place missed out on?
Lots.
The website wasn't visually appealing.
Absolutely. Well, and like you touched on a point, you were saying that typically these guys are asking for quite a bit for a website, and they're closing at 20%. They're closing at 25%. Well, it's not that the cost or the labor or the time that's involved in building a website is $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever it may be for whatever they're building. Because, like, don't get me wrong, if you want a lot of stuff, e-commerce and all this, prices do get up there. But at the end of the day, it's you got bills to pay, you have things that need to get done and taken care of. So I need to get 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 a website because I'm only closing at 20%. Well, guess what happens when I start closing at 60, when I start closing at 80? Those prices keep getting better. They keep getting better. It makes it more affordable for you. And not only that, you're working with people who are bridging the gap between like the tech side and the real life side. Because I could have the greatest idea and the greatest company in the world, and I don't know jack about websites, and go to some people that are just, you know, mass producing, manufacturing websites and throwing them back out there to me. They don't care about if it looks right, if it's appealing. They're just going to get the job done, send it to you. Oh, you said you wanted blue and green and yellow, and that's what you got. So if you don't like it, I mean, I'll do it again, but it's going to cost you, right? Instead of that, let's have a conversation up front. Think about how people are going to be appealed when they're coming into the game, and put out a product that is going to get the job done for you the first time, right?
Exactly. And that's the key. You got to have somebody that can take your information and be able to translate that to the programmer. And you're not getting that now. So you're spending more money, like you said. Instead of closing, listen, Ben, I've been in sales a long time. If you come to me and you ask me about what it is that I'm selling, I'm going to sell it. because I want to figure out what it is that's, because I understand people, understand human nature, I understand what it is that we need and why we feel the way we feel. A lot of that is because I'm really humble in this scenario. Listen, I don't mean to say I'm really humble to sound cocky. I mean that I've humbled myself to the point to where I can say, okay, that makes sense. I understand what you're saying. And really mean it, not just say to get the sale. I mean, I can back myself down and know where I've made mistakes to understand to where I need to do to help other people. And that's the key. A lot of people can't admit that they don't know something. They want to act like they know everything. I don't know everything, but I know people. And I know when you're telling me what it is that you want to get, the point you're trying to get across, then I'm going to understand how to translate that to my programmer and to actually I had to translate that to my project manager, Chris, and he has to translate that to my programmer, because programmers are hard guys to talk to. It's a different breed of people. They're just as OCD as me and you. They're just as obsessive compulsive ADHD as we are, but it's a different mindset.
It's a different language.
It's a different language than what we speak. If you're just talking to a programmer, listen, you're never going to get to where you need to be with your website. You need somebody that will translate that information for you, and that's what we're going to do. Our long-term plan is to have a sales team that I train, that I teach to understand what it is that I do, and that way they're translating that information over to the programmers, so the programmers are building the site the way that you need it to get you back the traffic you want. Guys, listen, if you go to chroma-it.com, there's a ton of examples of the websites that Mark has built. And he just did a project for Stan Lee. If you don't know who Stan Lee is, and you've never seen a Marvel movie, he just did some kind of a tribute page for Stan Lee, which I don't have access to yet, but it's really cool. But I mean, he's really freaking phenomenal at what he does. You know, he's just, he's just so freaking good, man. Our app that we built is just phenomenal. But I still have a hard time communicating with the guy. You know, I can't even joke with the guy because our sense of humors are completely different. And he takes me the wrong way. It doesn't make me bad. It's just there's a different communication barrier there. And if you're an entrepreneur, if you're watching this, most likely you're an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, you're having a hard time communicating with a programmer. I don't care what you think, what you say. And if you can't say that you don't, then you've got an issue. I have a hard time programming with my own guy who I've known for a while. I have to have a buffer there that goes between us and him. He understands enough of my side and Mark's side to bring that point together and to translate the message that you want to get across as a customer. Doesn't matter who. You need a website before you need a storefront. You need a website before you even go into business. You need a website as much as you need inventory to sell. You need a website as much as you need a Facebook page. If you don't have a website, then you are costing yourself money every day, because you tell me one thing that you've bought in the last 5 years that you didn't go to a web, even though you went to the store to buy it, but you tell me one thing that you didn't research on a website that you've bought.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not researching it on their website, I'm researching it on Amazon or some other website. It's all coming offline.
It's all coming off.
There's
gotta have eye appeal.
So check this out. Here's some figures I want to throw at you, and then we'll start to wrap it up. The phone just hit me at a 10% notification, so we don't want to die in the middle of this. So there's 3.7 billion people online right now that have internet access. Okay, 3.7 billion. There's going to be another 3 billion people either getting access to the internet or becoming of age to get on the internet within the next 3 years. Okay, out of that 3.7 billion, it's like 1.5 billion in the U.S. Only 14% of people are not online. Okay, out of that 14%, like 9% of that is people 65 and older. So what does that mean? That means that everybody's online. The people who aren't online aren't coming online. They're aging out, right? So we're still talking a small percentage as far as they go. I mean, the baby boomer generation was the largest generation there was, retiring at 10,000 a day, getting out of the market, getting out of business. But the internet space is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And as the generations keep coming up, I mean, my generation was probably I had a beeper, you know, I had a pager, you know, so we were like the last year, and then we got cell phones, internet, we started having that. But after me, and I'm 34, so if you're under 34, you probably went to school and had a computer, and cell phones were a thing. Yeah, ish. But that's my point, is that I can't believe that people are still building websites that aren't mobile friendly, and I see them, and it's ridiculous. I don't understand it. it's like the Wild West, and nobody's really implemented real business practices into it that I've ran into yet. So I love that you're bridging the gap between like the super tech side and then the rest of us side, because it's the rest of us that are buying, it's the rest of us that are starting businesses. And if you don't know the lingo, you're just going to get stuck in the game.
Yeah, that's it. But I'll tell you, we're working on a project with a lady right now. She's got a beauty salon. And I went to her website, had some weird little picture, which was, turned out the picture was a really cool thing, but it was like really tiny. So you got the whole phone, and there's a picture about the size of a dime on there, and it says enter here. So I needed a haircut. So I hit enter here, and I went in, and it was just all over the place. You know what I mean? And her total price on her deal is going to be like $642. And she's going to have a website in 2 to 4 days. And she's already got a few things on there, like she's got Instagram and Facebook, so we're going to connect those things. And she doesn't have, there's something she doesn't have, I can't remember what it is, but we're going to set it up where people can set appointments there. And that's going to cost, I mean, and that's already figured into the price. I mean, the way we've set it up, let's say you need e-commerce, or let's say you have a restaurant and you need like, well, I forget what that feature is called off the top of my head. There's so many of them. I'm trying to learn. There's a lot to learn on this. But there's a feature where they set up your, schedule your reservations and stuff like that for you, show your menus and all this cool stuff. But I mean, you know, to integrate any other features outside that, we're charging like $50 to $75 to do that, in addition to what we charge for a price. So if you just need a 5 to 10 page website, you're talking anywhere between $400 to say $600 or $700, maybe $800. And this is if you need a whole bunch of stuff, e-commerce and stuff added on there. You know what I'm talking about? If you want to have stuff that you pay for, so if you want to have a way to accept Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, yeah, we help integrate all that for you. Listen, if you think that you can figure those things out, well, we can do it for you in 2 to 4 days. It would take me a week just to figure out how to get one feature going on this thing, or just to get my freaking logo on the top of the screen. You know what I mean? Yeah. People try to build their own sites, and there's things like Shopify, which we work with these companies. We work with all the different platforms that are out there. What we're going to do is see what it is that you want, and then we're going to take all the platforms that we work with, and we're going to say, actually, we think this one's better for you, because number one, you're going to have several specials you're going to offer quarterly or monthly or daily. We're going to make it to where you just log in and you can change the banner over here or add a special to your page without having to worry about changing the code on your site like a lot of companies do. But it's about making it simple, simplifying it for these people. Because listen, nobody wants to do anything easy. It's about having access to your Facebook and to your Instagram, because you need social media to be in business, but you need the website first. You need to be able to jump to the website from wherever you're at, and because nobody's going to buy from your Instagram page. Nobody's buying from Instagram. Everything you go to Instagram, you go to a landing page. And that's what we do, guys. Listen, I don't know how another way to get the point across. If you're in business and you don't have a website, or if you do have a website and it's not mobile friendly, and I'm not talking mobile friendly that you can pull it up on your phone. I mean mobile friendly that where you never had to zoom in or shift right to left. If you're not just scrolling and everything's jumping off the page, then there's something wrong there, and it's going to cost you a ton of money down the road. You need to be spending your time. Listen, if you cut hair, if you make pizza, if you build houses, if you build little aluminum art pieces that you want to sell, your money is made cutting hair, making pizzas, building little aluminum art sculptures, not trying to figure out your website, because what it might take you a month to try to figure out. And this lady I'm telling you about, she said she had already spent like 3 days of work time on the phone, on her computer, trying to figure out how to upload a few pictures. How many haircuts she had given? How many nail jobs or hair shampoos or perms did she have given? And how much money did she lose doing that? Don't cheat yourself on your website, but make sure you call somebody who's going to give you an honest opinion, and somebody's going to translate your message so it's only done once. It's done right the first time. We even offer like service plans. So like, let's say you get so many hours a month, let's say $150 a month. So if you need help, you call us. You need pictures uploaded, you can't figure out, we're going to do it for you. So stuff like that, we're giving you service plans, and it's a lot cheaper than it is to have to pay somebody $100 an hour, $90 an hour. You know, they're not cheap on what they charge. But I mean, you get what you pay for. Don't cheat yourself on your website. That's more important. That's just as important as having inventory. A website is equivalent to inventory, because guess what? The inventory will sit on the shelf and get dusty. If you don't have a website, you're going to miss business.
Absolutely, dude.
Man, I appreciate you bringing me on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on. I know, you know, that you had to get this thing launching and going, and anything that I could do to help get the word out there for you, I'm more than happy to do that. So I'm glad
All my partners are vets, and we want to hire more vets. I mean, we want to do things to help the people that have helped us get to have the freedoms to do what it is we do, and that's important to me. You know, if you don't know a vet, go find one and give him a hug, because those guys made it possible for us to be where we are. You know what I mean? There's Mark Echo right there. I got it 28 years. You know, between Mark and Chris and my other Mark with a C and Mark with a K and Chris, man, you're talking like 60-something years of service.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are awesome, man. And listen, that's what we're looking to do. These guys are here, and back when our country first got great in the first place after World War II, the vets came home and they made our country amazing. And these guys are home now, and listen, we want to work with as many of them as we can. There's a ton of them that I work with, and I just want to say God bless those guys. I appreciate them, and I appreciate my partners, and I appreciate people like Mark. I appreciate you. And whatever we can do, man. I can't wait to do my training videos with you, man. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. All in due time, my friend. So cool, man. Well, I appreciate you again. If you guys need to get a hold of Rob, where would they want to find you at? I know Chroma.
My wife,
IT.
you're watching this. www. I'll still say it tells you how old I am. I'm 46. www.CHROMA dash, not underscore, but dash IT.com. So it's Chroma IT. And what Chroma is you've got Chris, CH, Rob, RO, Mark, MA, Chroma, which Chroma also means integrity in business. My partners have more integrity than I thought I had integrity. They made me feel like a bomb. They're awesome guys, man. We're blessed. And
looks like that worked out well.
Yeah, I was going to do a little bit about my semicolon, but we ran out of time.
I think if we keep going, my phone's gonna die, or I'd say let's roll.
Yeah, we'll do the semicolon. We'll go and do the semicolon joke later. It was a good one, but
dude, I love it. You need to tell it. It's awesome. But cool, guys. Well, check us out tomorrow, Home of the Hustle with Frank Sell. Thursday with the Law, and Friday is Freedom Fridays with Justin Myers, where we honor our vets. We bring vets on. Justin's a vet, Navy guy. It's a great day. Be sure to check them out on Friday, and then back on Monday again with the Titan. So have a good night. Appreciate you, Rob. Take it easy. See you.